Hello there and welcome to Tom's Warhammer Minis. Bren Tylis is the Renegade Saint, a hard-bitten mercenary who carries her ancestor on her back. In this guide I'll showcase a quick and easy way to paint up this awesome hero for Warhammer Quest, leaving you with an awesome looking character to save the Jade Abbey. Now a lot of the highlights I apply here are dry brushed on. It's to save time, though of course individually doing them by hand in the classic method is also viable, and it's down to you how you apply them. Time wise though, doing it this way, we're only looking at a few hours with this simple painting method. So grab your paints and your brushes and let's get hobbying. And we're starting Bren Tylis. We're going to make a super simple, super quick and easy to paint. So to begin with, things to note, she is primed in white scar. We want that bright, bold, vivid finish. Now the first part I worked on is the cloak. Nice and simply, this is going to be a base coat mix with a shade applied afterwards. So to begin with, our mix is going to be Sigvuld Burgundy. And we're roughly going to take 2 to 3 parts of this, so it's a rough ratio. And in that mix, we're going to add 1 part of Luxion Purple. Essentially, it creates a screamer pink vibe kind of colour as a base coat. So again, apply that nice and neatly across all the cloak. Always start at the top, working your way down. You've got the back section here, and it goes around the front of her neck like that. Once it's dry, we're also going to shade it just to give it a bit of a varnish and just to provide more depth and definition, and that's going to be Carroburg Crimson. So what I've done on the actual back of the coat here as well, just to point out, is I have applied it rather heavily to get this real dark and grungy effect. Having recreated the mix, just a slightly smaller version, it's a little bit brighter at the top, and that's why there's a slight inconsistency. And while I wait for that to dry, I'm going to then add the Carroburg Crimson at the top, which I haven't yet done, but you can kind of see the difference it has on the bottom part. So, do those steps, let it dry, we'll move on to the next piece. Next up, we're going to take Black Templar. Now, she's got a lot of armour, but at the back, you've got all this soft cloth section. And when we look at it, it actually extends around the front, under her armour, up towards the groin area. So, we're going to apply the Black Templar there, but I've also applied it on the ropes of the flask that are attaching to her body, as well as the sword holster. We've got this big long section here, which would be the wooden area, and simply I've done that in the Black Templar too. So, get those details done, we'll move on to the next step. Next up, we're taking Skeleton Horde, and this is for all the parchment paper, as well as her ancestor's skull that we see. Now, when we look at the box art, the actual parchment paper is more dark and more aged, and we are going to work towards that, but we need this in place as an underlayer so our eyes can actually perceive it to be paper. So, that's the details that we need to do. Get those on, let them dry, and we'll move on to the next step. Now, before we move on to our next details, I want to point out what I didn't see earlier, and I have applied it, and that's Black Templar just on the soft leather of her neck tunic here. So you've got the cloak that goes around the front, you've got the soft cloth just behind going up to her neck, just below her chin, and that needs to be in Black Templar too. It's the same material as what we got at the back here. Moving on from that, let it dry, and then we need to base coat her skin. And that's going to be a simple base coat of Reikland Fleshshade all over the face. As you can see, just let it dry, let it settle into the recesses around the side of the hair. Nice and simple. Moving on from that, while it's drying, we're going to base coat our wooden details. And the colour is Wyldwood. So, you've got this spear here. You've got the wooden pole that goes all the way down. And it continues down the side here. And you can reach it through that gap. Bit hard to see on the camera, but essentially you can see it down here as well. We've also got the chest to do. Nice and simple. Let those dry and we'll move on to the next step. Next up, we are going to take, first of all, Agrax Earthshade. Now, I always have done these on the Sterling Mud bases. If you've seen my other tutorials, you know I literally did Sterling Mud on all the bases before I even started painting them all, just to save time and get them all prepped and ready, because they're going to be consistent and the same. So, if you're doing Sterling Mud, I've applied it there. But for the actual model, where I want this to go is all of the parchment paper. So, essentially, we want to show that it's aged I've not done the skull, but I've just painted it over all that skeleton hall paper just to darken it down and just age it that little bit more. Keep an eye on pooling, especially in this area here. I found it to be the most, and we don't want that to happen. We just want a nice even there. Now, one little hobby tip, I'm looking at obviously the metallic armor, seeing how easy it is to paint, which generally it is. But you've got this little section where you can see it's completely dark in that little gap there, which is roughly just a bit of armor. It's very hard to see at certain angles, but it's armor that's underneath. Now I've pushed the skeleton horde from the first base coat in there, and I've pushed more Agrax Earthshade into that gap just to darken it out, because it's going to be extremely hard to get a brush in there, and we don't want to spoil our details. So just a little hobby tip, just pushing that paint into there to create a natural, real darkened shadow, just so we don't have to worry. Nice and simple, keeping it as easy as possible to paint. Moving on from that, we're going to focus on her hair, and the colour is Garaghak Sur. Nice and simple, just take your time, especially around the face. Don't worry about the sword or any of the metal, because if we catch that, we base coat it in metallics anyway. And then we've got this little lantern up here. Now, it's not meant to be painted all over, it was just easier, and I'll explain that why. Ignore the Lamy Medium, it is actually Iyanden Yellow. And when I've painted it on, I've painted it over the whole surface, so I've got more control of the paint. I don't want it completely orange in the centre. I just want a nice even there, and it was just easier to drag it across the whole section, because again, the rest of it's going to be metallics. It's going to get painted over anyway. But essentially, it's these little circles that we want to get the paint into, and have a nice recessed shade, which turns orange with Iyanden Yellow, where the rest of the flat area is yellow itself. So, get those details done, and we'll move on to the next step. Next up, we're going to work on the base. We've got two colours here, one for the rock, one for the grass. So to begin with, ignore the pot, because again, it's one that I've had to swap it into, but it is Basilicanum Grey. We're not filling it down, just apply it straight over those rocks. For the grass, we're going to keep it nice and simple. We're going to take Ork Flesh and just apply it over the two bits of grass. Let that dry. And now we're going to work on our metallic details for base coating. Next up, we're going to base coat our metallic details. So nice and simply, the majority is Iron Hand Steel. That's all the silver armour. But we've also got bronze armour, and I've done that in Castellax Bronze. And it's easy just to point out where those details are. So you've got the shoulder pads. You've got this flask, you've got the sword, the hilt bit there, you've got the bit there. The only knee pad that's in bronze is this one, the other one is silver. So nice and simple, those are the bronze details, everything else is silver. And next up, we're gonna shade all of those metallic details. I've got 3 different shade paints here, and they vary depending on where we're putting them, especially with that silver armour. So we're gonna start nice and simple. I've taken Fuegan Orange, and I'm being careful how much I apply to the brush, because I don't want to overdo the details. This is for the internal part of the lantern. So you've got the section just here, where my fingernails meeting, and that bit, the top part. We're not doing that, we're doing this whole middle section. And I'm taking the Fuegan paint, and it's gone straight over the metallic detail, and the Iyanden Yellow. But just be careful it doesn't pull excessively into the Iyanden Yellow. We just want it to really deepen into those recesses, but not the central part. This is what we're looking for. And essentially it's tinting that silver just to create a warm glow. Moving on from that, my next shade paint is Agrax Earthshade. Now this is going to be for a variety of details. It's going to be all the bronze. That's nice and simple. But I've got a couple of select silver details. So I've done it on the sword to create a sort of aged, dirty old effect, which will get brightened up when we highlight, as well as the spear part there, and then the top and bottom part of the lantern. For the remaining silver details, I've gone with Coelia Greenshade. Gives it a very soft greenish tint, which will bring back, to brightness when we highlight it later on. But that's the colour that to me feels quite right, and it's very similar to the box art. So with that done, she is battle ready. But we're not going to leave it there. We're going to apply a few select highlights, make her pop really more, and finish her off. Next up, we're going to do our highlights and finish off the model. Most of this is going to be dry brushing. There's lots of areas we can easily catch with a dry brush and just really enhance the model's overall look to get her done nice and quickly, so she looks absolutely fantastic on the tabletop. So, to begin with, we're going to start with the silver armor as well as our bronze armor, and essentially it's just one color, Stormhost Silver. And there are lots of angles that we can get to that, you know, really enhance the model. So going down this way, catching the armor, going down this way, catching the armor here, going, you know, angle it so it gets it. This is including the sword, you know, the spear, the lantern. We're just dry brushing the whole lot of our metallic details in Stormhost Silver. Really gives it a nice shine and just really works well with those colours. Moving on from that, sticking with the dry brushing theme, we're going to go onto the cloak. Now I want something that's quite bold that picks out really nicely, and the colour I've chosen here is Emperor's Children. Nice and simple, just take your time, really work the paint into the bristles onto the paper when you're sort of wiping most of the excess away, because otherwise you will get a very chalky effect. But get it right, it does look nice. Moving on from that one, we're going to go to Screaming Skull. Now I'm doing a lot of different details here. First we've got the base, and that's including the grass and the rocks. Moving on from that, we're going to apply it to the hair. It just gives it a slightly more aged look, as well as where light would be naturally hitting. Works really well with the Garaghak. I've also very carefully done it over the Black Templar details too, as well as our wood on the spear. Next up, my next highlight is going to be Pallid Wych Flesh. Now I'm applying this in classic edge highlighting. It's mostly a spot highlight, but just a couple of edge highlights on the skin tone. Reikland Fleshshade being so light in the skin tone, we need something even lighter to really make it pop. Finally, our eyes need to be done, and we're going to take White Scar to dot the eyes, and then within the eyes an even smaller dot of Abaddon Black. And with that, the model is done. All we need to do now is apply some tufts and the model's finished. And there we have it. Bren Tylis is complete. Super simple in the sense to get her done. It looks more complex than it is. It is a real quick paint job that just makes her look incredibly awesome on the tabletop. And what a great striding pose that is. Now if this video has helped you and inspired you and helping you get your Darkwater models done, then do give it a like. Also, give the videos a share, because that reaches other people who might also need help. I mean, my tutorials might be the one that they're looking for. It's not about fame, it's about supporting the Warhammer community. And if you haven't already, please do think of subscribing, because that just supports the channel. And the more the channel gets supported, the more I continue to support you, the awesome Warhammer community. So, until the next video, do look after yourselves, and happy hobbying.